How's it going, guys? My name is Stone. This is my brother Austin.
Hello.
Welcome to these reviews. It's a very special episode because I have him here. We're going to talk about an album I think we have pretty different perspectives on, but we both decided to kind of listen to it a few times and review it together. Yeah. I mean, if you want to give them a little taste of what kind of music you like, or maybe your overall thoughts.
Well, for me, I'm really into like 20s music, like Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, Chet Baker, sorry. But when I first encountered this album, was just overhearing it from him listening to it on these speakers, and it was just first off horrible because I just did not like it. Cause I always perceived this album as just sitar and only sitar, but then as I was listening to the album multiple times, this is a very, very diverse album. You know, it's just I didn't expect it.
Yeah. I mean, would you say you're a big fan of psychedelic rock based on maybe what I played or what I've showed? No. No, yeah, honestly, not to throw them under the bus or anything, but I'm surprised that you're not a big fan of Pink Floyd whatsoever. I mean, some people do find them boring. I know, I get that, but
there's some songs that I remember, but there's most of them that I just need to personally listen to them more. Because even when I hear you play Frank Zappa or this music for the first time, I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna give it a try. No. But then after listening to this, I should give it a try. Maybe not Frank Zappa though, because with that one song we're listening to,
which one?
I forgot what it was called, but it was just it literally sounded like somebody was just strumming, and that was it. Some guy talking gibberish, and I was just like,
that could be a few songs. I can't recall which one.
A few, and that's insane.
Well, a few great Frank Zappa songs, but that's for another video. We'll just go straight into the track listing. I will add though real quick that for this being in 1966 or being released around that time, this is pretty far ahead of its time, and I think that it sounds more like 1967 in the sense that it's fully realized. For me, it really defines psychedelic rock, or at least maybe what people were aiming to achieve. Not saying every band, but because this isn't a rocking album with the exception of a few tracks.
This is mostly trying to retain to psychedelic, right?
I mean, I don't know maybe what his goals were. I mean, maybe he was going for that psychedelic feel. Obviously, it was just growing around this time. 1966 was really the birth year for it. So yeah, I mean, the first one that just ended, I feel was a pretty well regarded. I think it was a big hit single back in the day. Sunshine Superman, the title track. But for me, I'd say that this is probably my least, not say my least favorite, but I feel it doesn't represent the entire album that well. I mean, were you a big fan of the first listen?
Oh, Sunshine Superman, yeah. Even his, he related this whole album as Season of the Witch. But then as I found out, Season of the Witch is really good. I feel Season of the Witch and Sunshine Superman are very, an 8 out of 10. They're just, both, really, good. You know, because I'm more of, I like guitar more than sitar. But, even with it, just even the beat and the tone with it seems like something that, people just, just know, from, just memory. Just because it's so, easy, kind of. Not easy, but the beat's so,
it's a good melody.
A really good melody, yeah.
It gets stuck in your head, I'd say.
Same thing with Season of the Witch. It's, a very good melody. And just, with the song was good.
No, I think, I don't know if it was a single back in the day, but I think that would have been a good single. If anything, I mean, I'll touch more on that song later, but I do think that you could switch those two songs around. I feel Season of the Witch would have been a better opener. But for me, since I'm not a big fan of Sunshine Superman, I'm not saying I hate it. I don't want to talk bad about it whatsoever, because it's still a really good song. But in comparison to the rest of the stuff, I'd say it falls a little short. Especially compared to this song that's playing, which I feel we have very different opinions on. Legend of a Girl Child, Linda. And for me, I'll just say real quick, I'm a big fan of this song. I really love the repetitive nature of it. Even if it's for 7 minutes of this kind of storytelling feel, I do think the orchestration really provides a chill, psychedelic feel, almost like a Disney song in my opinion. And it does pass like a breeze, I like to think, since it is so repetitive. You kind of get lost hearing it. I mean, what were your thoughts? I mean, you said
I don't like the song at all. It just seems like somebody reading just a little story, and hearing that after and before Season of the Witch and Sunshine and Celeste, it's just like if you put that out there, I think like
That would have
nothing
been better. Without
not better, but it's nothing would have been changed. Like it doesn't help out the album at all.
Mm-hmm.
And like adding 7 minutes and
Do
hearing
you
a
think
story.
it's more like filler?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
And it's just I don't know. It's just
I can see that.
I could see why like someone wanted a story, but it's like I don't know. Just like listening to this while I'm working, it makes me like just tired. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be tired. Like,
no, I get it. Yeah, it's very like
it's
a
like
little too peaceful.
like Celeste is soothing, but then this song just makes me tired because it's like it's 7 minutes,
Just goes
and
on
it just
on.
it goes on, and then it's just I don't know.
No, from what I read a lot online, most people agree with that this is probably like the dud on the album. But if it is a dud, I mean, I see what you mean. Like for it being 7 minutes long, if you don't like this song, it's a lot of minutes spent on not liking this song, especially if you're only listening to it on vinyl back in the day. And I feel like for it being the second song too, if you weren't a big fan, it would be a tough thing to trudge over. But the rest of the album kicks just as much ass, I'd say. I mean, the next song, I feel like this and the two songs, Legend of a Girl Child, Linda, and the two tracks that follow it are probably an amazing trilogy of like really chill psychedelic music that like I feel like melts your brain if you're like smoking doobies to it. I mean, what do you think of Three Kingfishers? Do you feel like I feel like was that some of the songs you weren't a big fan of because of the sitar?
Yeah, it was just like I don't know. I just only see that song as just like a sitar song. It wasn't like a song that had like that. It was like off of memory, like a good melody. It just felt like just another sitar song.
No, I get that. Especially, I mean, as much as I love the song a lot, especially going back to it for this review, I do think that I wish it had a little more singing to it because towards the end it was more just like sitar jamming, which I do like a lot because when you are listening to this music under a certain influence, it's nice to not have someone rattling on. You're just tripping out to the music and the instrumentation going on. But I do see what you mean, that it feels a little whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot could be said, what was just said about this track could be said about Ferris Wheel, in my opinion. Except, out of those two, I think Ferris Wheel is much better because it's got a better melody. And I just love how psychedelic it is. Probably one of my favorite psychedelic rock songs of all time. Up there with Shadows on the Wall, Strawberry Fields Forever, White Rabbit, all the other classics. I mean, do you think it sounded any different than Three Kingfishers, or do you think it's just another sitar song?
I don't know. It sounded like it kind of sounded like another sitar song, but it just the melody did help it a little bit. Yeah, I agree with that. But
yeah.
But basically, yeah.
No, I mean, and the same. I mean, you can kind of argue the same for the next song, "Birds Blues," but I do think that song, for me, it took some time to get into it, especially during this review. I always thought it was like the weaker song on side one, but I do think I like the way it incorporates blues with like psychedelic and folk, what he's already doing on the rest of this album, and I do like the way it kind of explodes at the end. But for me, it's like Sunshine Superman kind of falls short compared to the rest, but it's still pretty good.
Do you think that's your least favorite one, right? Sunshine Superman?
Maybe if I had to pick one. But I mean, were you not a big fan of that one either? Or do you feel
I
like
just thought it was like mid. I don't know. Like the blues were nice, but like it was another sitar song, but it wasn't really like something that really caught my eye or caught my ear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically just only Season the Witch, Sunshine, Celeste, and then another song which the Trip was alright. Yeah, but just the rest were just like decent. Like it wasn't something that like.
Are you talking about for the first side? Like it's just kind of decent, like.
Oh, I didn't know that was the whole first side, but like, the other ones were like alright.
Sunshine Superman and Birds Blues is the first side. I feel like if you're not really into that trippy sitar sounding stuff, it can be a little bit of a bore. But I do think side 2 picks up pretty well. I mean, it opens with Season of the Witch.
Oh yeah,
I'd say it's a song that I've grown to love a lot more now. And I think it probably was a single. I would be surprised if it wasn't, but I think it's definitely one of Donovan's best tracks. I think it's just, it's a little more rocking, which I love, but it also has a great, I think it's an organ solo at the very end, like the latter half, which really provides that psychedelic environment. I mean, you said you were a big fan of the song, out of everything you've heard.
For which one?
Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch, yeah, it was really good. I don't know, just a really like kind of like a up, like kind of like his voice kind of like goes up like perfectly with the tone of it, and even when he lowers it down, like just like in a deepened voice, like it just still like it's still like really good and like I don't know, it's something good to like have work with, you know, like. No, it's not like a really mellow song, but it's more of a song that's like if you're like walking or doing something, like very good background music, I would say.
I get that. I do think it could be enjoyed by people whether they're sober or not, I'd say.
Oh yeah, I feel like even like not relying to like psychedelic people, like even like people that like with rock, like they would like they would like that a lot.
And yeah, I'd be surprised if they didn't. I mean, the next song too, you could say the same for, because I really love how much more rocking it is. The Trip. It's probably, it's tough to choose a favorite on here. It would definitely be a top 4, top 3 for me, because it's just, I love how like Season of the Witch. It's got like a trippy groove to it, but like it's still more rocking and it has a little more momentum going on, which gives it easier to get stuck in your head, I suppose.
Yeah, I always just like kind of like mixed in with Season of the Witch and the Sunshine and the Trip, kind of like just all kind of like relating to like guitar, which they're really good. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the next song, One of Your, kind of goes back into that realm of like trippy sitar sounding stuff, which for me, I'm another it's another track I'm a big fan of for it just being more trippy and kind of like that storytelling feel to it. And like I said, it kind of reflects on side 1, those trilogy of tracks that are just super trippy, and I feel like I don't know, it just feels like it's like very psychedelic, even if you are sober listening to it. I mean, was that another song you wanted?
It was just like another mix of just Legend of the Girl Child Linda. Yeah, I did not like it that much. It just, I don't know. The guitar, sitar, I felt like personally, it's not really like a thing to be good with like a soothing song. I don't know.
Do you think it takes you out of that soothingness feeling?
It's not that. It's not like saying like, oh, like it completely like changes the whole like hearing of it, but I don't know. It just doesn't really fit with me personally.
I get it, yeah. So
like piano, where like for Celeste was like really soothing. I always say piano and like just it was like a very soothing thing, but sitar, I don't know. I don't like the vibrations with the sitar.
The way it kind of drones.
Kind of like an echoed vibration, just like always like, I don't know.
I get it. I mean, I was never a big fan of it either, but I do think, like you said, under the right circumstances, it could, I don't know, it could tickle a part of your brain that no other instrument can tickle. I mean, I like the next song too, even if it doesn't have that much. Or actually, I'd say there's a decent amount of sitar. The Fat Angel. I love how it kind of drones on in that song, yet I love how, like, poppy and exciting it is with the melody and the acoustic guitar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what I also like about it is just the fact that Jefferson Airplane's mentioned in there. I think it's an ode to them, which, as you may know, or maybe I brought it up earlier, Jefferson Airplane actually covered that song for a live album, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, for this song?
The Fat Angel,
wow.
The reference.
Yeah. That's cool.
I think you might like some of their stuff too, but I don't know. They got some alright stuff as well.
It's like even with the beat, it's just like really good. I don't know. It's just like something I would remember. Because I always felt like in my head, it's like if I remember that beat, and like with like not just the beat, but just like the beat going with the lyrics and just like how it just all like goes out perfectly. Right. It is like something good. It's something good to remember, you know. Like even with the story, like I don't know. Like having with the story and the melody wasn't really like, I guess that mixed in with it.
And like it being for this album as a whole, just that song.
Just the song, The Legend, like going like kind of like comparing it. Like for this song, Fat Angel is really good. Just the beat goes really good with it, and then it's like I can remember.
It's not too slow. It's not bored.
Yeah, and then the Child Linda is just like a story, and it's a 7-minute story, and I'm like, no, like I don't know. It doesn't need to be there.
Maybe I'll try to add a poll if I can to see like you hate the song or you love it. You can't only like it. I mean, I feel like most people have a love-hate relationship with that song, so I get that. But the closer, probably one we could agree is one of our favorites, along with Season of the Witch, is Celeste. Celeste. I assume it's Celeste, but
the first time when I heard the song, actually, I was telling you before this, it reminds me of the Shrek movie,
Yeah,
where
same.
like I really don't remember seeing that much, but it's like when the princess turns back into human, and what's his name's like, oh yeah, she's taken, and so he walks back home, and they sing the Hallelujah song.
Yeah, the one
Hallelujah.
montage when they're like, oh, we miss each other. Whoa.
Yeah. It completely reminded me of that, and I was like, dude, that's so weird.
I thought it was this song.
The first time I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I heard a song like this in Shrek, and I was like, wait a minute, it's not. But even without that, like that memory, like even with like just the piano, it's like so good. Like going back to like 20s music, like it was just like really really good.
I think it does have like a vibe more, or the melody of it has that rhythm that something like Frank Sinatra might have in the song. I'd say. I mean, it has a little more psychedelic feel to it. I just feel like, with this song being so positive as it is, I think it really, makes it a very satisfying conclusion to the album, and I feel like it makes it a worthwhile experience to listen to, rather than it just being a collection of songs, like something like Sgt. Pepper or In the Court of the Crimson King, where it's hard to, like, at least for me, hard to pick out songs I don't like and don't enjoy, but yeah. I mean, what would your top 4 songs be?
It would go with, it would probably go The Fat Angel, and then Season of the Witch, Sunshine Superman, and then Celeste.
Season of the Witch, Sunshine Superman, and the which one?
The Fat. So it goes Fat Angel, Season of the Witch, Sunshine Superman. Only the reason, because I chose that one first, just like, I always think it's like, you're going to be mine, and it just, the beat's like very, very catchy. Even like when I'm listening to like Frank Sinatra, I'm like, I remember that song, I'm like, oh man, like why am I thinking about that song out of nowhere? And then my number one is Celeste for sure.
Yeah, I'd say, if I had to pick a number 1, maybe it'd be The Trip, but I'd say like my top 4 are The Trip, Celeste, Season of the Witch. It's tough. I want to... Ferris Wheel. As much as I want to say like Three Kingfishers or Legend, especially like Legend of the Girl Child Linda, there's been so many, I have so many memories with that song, listening to it hiking and just like reflecting on life and shit. And so it's got like a special place, but like those are probably my top 4. And yeah, this, not to go too much into vinyl, but just because it's going, but this is like a colored pressing I have of it. It's yellow, trust me. It's got a nice background, a little poetry going on, kind of like describing some of the songs. And yeah, I don't know. I'm thankful that you decided to do this with me, because I know playing it around you, what was it you'd say, like, oh, that one album with the guy's face on it, that songs. I was like, what?
I would say like, oh, the guy with just the red background, his face like he's like looking at something, like he's questioning. I don't know. In my opinion, the first time I saw it, I was like, what a dumb face you could do, like in the whole album.
Face, yeah.
Like, it's your own face, but it's like, do it with that, like, so weird. And even like listening to all these songs, like, I don't know.
Do you think the album cover fits the music though? You don't? I think it. I mean, like this.
It seems like a lot of fall. Like, I don't know.
Do you think it should be like trippier looking? I feel like the colors work maybe.
I feel like it's not like just 3 rock songs, and it doesn't really relate to like the perspective of this. It feels like soothing. Like this aura has a perfect relation to Legend of the Girl Child Linda, and then Guinevere.
Like the slower songs.
The slower songs, and like the more trippier songs. They're like, guitar just did not expect that. Even like with the first songs to be guitar, I was like, am I listening to the right one? Like,
yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe if we have him on here again sometime, we could definitely review something you liked initially. I mean, as much as I love to play stuff that I know he would hate, like maybe We're Only In It For The Money by Frank Zappa, or
so when you got Frank Zappa and the what do you call it?
The Mothers of Invention. Dude, I love the Mothers of Invention. Dude, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, I've yet to talk about them too much yet, but a lot of albums I like, or a lot of bands I like, maybe I talk about them only one album at a time, because I like to like keep the variety going, not only like Fleetwood Mac or only Beach Boys or Birds.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely touch on more Frank Zappa stuff, because there's a lot to enjoy for a guy like me. Maybe we'll turn him into a fan too. We'll know. Who knows? I mean,
it's just like children just slamming down like the whole instruments, and like they're like, oh yeah, here's a microphone.
Only some albums. But yeah, thank you again for coming on. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts. Yeah. See you in the next video. Bye bye.
Goodbye.